Part 1 of An Old-Fashioned Thanksgiving by Louisa May Alcott. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Narrator, read by Maria Therese.
Mrs. Bassett, read by Elizabeth Klett.
Seth Bassett, read by Stephanie Heinrichs.
Saul Bassett, read by Grace Garrett.
Tilly Bassett, read by Eden Rea-Hedrick.
Roxy, read by Lynn Silva.
Rhody, read by Charlotte Duckett.
Prue Bassett, read by Ariel Lipshaw.
Mr. Bassett, read by Todd.
F. Bassett, read by Samantha Gubitz.
Gad Hopkins, read by Bill Mosley.
Aunt Cynthia, read by Lynn Thompson.
Part 1. 60 years ago, up among the New Hampshire hills, lived Farmer Bassett, with a houseful of sturdy sons and daughters growing up about him. They were poor in money, but rich in land and love, for the wide acres of wood, corn, and pasture land fed, warmed, and clothed the flock, while mutual patience, affection, and courage made the old farmhouse a very happy home. November had come, the crops were in, and barn, buttery, and bin were overflowing with the harvest that rewarded the summer's hard work. The big kitchen was a jolly place just now, for in the great fireplace roared a cheerful fire. On the walls hung garlands of dried apples, onions, and corn. Up aloft from the beams shone crook-necked squashes, juicy hams, and dried venison. For in those days deer still haunted the deep forests, and hunters flourished. Savoury smells were in the air. On the crane hung steaming kettles, and down among the red embers copper saucepans simmered, all suggestive of some approaching feast. A white-headed baby lay in the old blue cradle that had rocked 7 other babies, now and then lifting his head to look out, like a round full moon, then subsided to kick and crow contentedly, and suck the rosy apple he had no teeth to bite. 2 small boys sat on the wooden settle shelling corn for popping, and picking out the biggest nuts from the goodly store their own hands had gathered in October. 4 young girls stood at the long dresser, busily chopping meat, pounding spice, and slicing apples, and the tongues of Tilly, Prue, Roxy, and Rhody went as fast as their hands. Farmer Bassett and Eph, the oldest boy, were "chorn round" outside, for Thanksgiving was at hand, and all must be in order for that time-honoured day. To and fro from table to hearth bustled buxom Mrs. Bassett, flushed and flowery, but busy and blithe as the queen bee of this busy little hive should be.
I do like to begin seasonable, and have things to my mind. Thanksgiving dinners can't be drove, and it does take a sight of victuals to fill all these hungry stomachs,
said the good woman, as she gave a vigorous stir to the great kettle of cider apple-sauce, and cast a glance of housewifely pride at the fine array of pies set forth on the buttery shelves.
Only one more day, and then it will be time to eat. I didn't take but 1 bowl of hasty pudding this morning, so I shall have plenty of room when the nice things come,
confided Seth the soul, as he cracked a large hazelnut as easily as a squirrel.
No need of my starving beforehand. I always have room enough, and I'd like to have Thanksgiving every day,
answered Solomon, gloating like a young ogre over the little pig that lay near by, ready for roasting.
Oh, sakes alive, I don't, boys. It's a mercy it don't come but once a year. I should be worn to a thread paper with all this extra work atop of my winter weaving and spinning,
laughed their mother, as she plunged her plump arms into the long bread trowel and began to knead the dough as if a famine was at hand. Tilly, the oldest girl, a red-cheeked, black-eyed lass of 14, was grinding briskly at the mortar, for spices were costly, and not a grain must be wasted. Prue kept time with the chopper, and the twins sliced away at the apples till their little brown arms ached, for all knew how to work, and did so now with a will.
I think it's real fun to have Thanksgiving at home. I'm sorry Grandma's sick, so we can't go there as usual, but I like to mess round here, don't you, girls?
asked Tilly, pausing to take a sniff at the spicy pestle.
It will be kind of lonesome, with only our own folks.
I like to see all the cousins and aunts, and have games and sing,
cried the twins, who were regular little romps, and could run, swim, coast, and shout as well as their brothers.
I don't care a mite for all that. It will be so nice to eat dinner together, warm and comfortable at home,
said quiet Prue, who loved her own cozy nooks like a cat.
Come, girls, fly round and get your chores done, so we can clear away for dinner just as soon as I clap.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?